Okay, first things first, if you're only here to participate in the big event I'm about to tell you about, please skip to this timestamp. But if you're a totally cool person, bear with me as I begin my exposition. Today is April 27th, 2024, and I declare that today shall be National International PurplePittoo Day! That's right, does PewDiePie have his own holiday? I don't think so. Okay, so PewDiePie does have his own holiday, but I'm sure that I have some unique characteristics about myself that we can take this day to celebrate. I play video games. I draw fan art. Oh my gosh, it's like I'm having an identity crisis. Like the song. But seriously, I have to think of something quick, so I'd better not be too slow. No, really, I'd better come up with something before things go south. Expurgation? Ah, yes, I know, it's music. I may not make music, but I've been doing one thing on this channel for 4 years and counting. I just find music I like and put it into a giant playlist. After all, I'm not like everyone else. I only listen to real music, like video game music and bands like Queen. Wait a minute, I don't really listen to Queen. Why did I say that? Mental infirmity aside, I know what I need to celebrate this Pittoo Day. My amazing playlist, video game music, and some other stuff I jam to while I should be studying. Alright, let's explain. Ever since I was a feeble youngling, I've always had to consider what my favorite one sect was of the massive social landscape that is music. I hate to say it, but I was never really raised on great music, so finding a place to geek out amongst my community of country and or Taylor Swift fans was never really an option. That's not to say that there's anything wrong with liking country or Taylor Swift, but if you do, you're basic. Anyways, as I grew up, I clung to the best of mainstream music that I could. Some Fall Out Boy, some Imagine Dragons, maybe some Killers, and by some, I only mean some. There will never be a more demonic audio atrocity than Sugar We're Going Down. That was, of course, until I discovered the amazing world of video game music. There were no more lyrics to be presented as much deeper than they actually were, and the music was so much better because if a game has a mediocre soundtrack, it won't sell. I was in the 5th grade when I discovered video game music through, of course, Super Smash Bros. If anything would have done the trick to get me hooked, it was the 1,000-song catalog in that game of nothing but gaming's greatest hits. That's not to say that video game music improved my ability to discuss my music taste with others in my life. Soon after I was neck deep in my newfound tastes, my school's mandatory music class had us do a project on the music that we liked to listen to, and I got a C. Ever since then, when people ask me what I like to listen to, I just say, Imagine Dragons, and let that be the end of it. But that's in real life. Here, I have access to all of the little gremlins like me, or roughly 9 of them, but regardless, I have a platform. I have power. I have Pittoo Day! So, now, it's time for me to show you guys how I want to celebrate National International PurplePittoo Day this year. If you're not yet aware, this is video game music and some other stuff I jam to while I should be studying. It has nearly 700 songs and has been accumulated since approximately the beginning of 2021. This is Scott Christian Sava. He has a series where he takes each letter of the alphabet and maps it to a corresponding music artist from the 1980s, and then paints all 26 in a roughly 9x16 format. I'm gonna copy him and do the same thing with the music on my playlist. I'd feel bad, but Scott has already copied himself and redone his 80s music alphabet as a 90s music alphabet. Besides, you all are gonna bear with me as I create my own art. I'm just stealing the idea. You all know that I'm really good at bad ideas, but good ones like these are hard to come by. So, how will this work? First off, I'm not going to be alphabetizing the music on this playlist by artist. Not only would that be overcomplicated, but some of these artists appear on this massive catalog too few times to understand in a project like this. Besides, for every diehard fan of Fried Frick and Sandy, there are 100 people who have laughed at
Yo soy Reggie, mamma mia, Reggie.exe, soy amigo de Mario Man.
Cute in her circle too, told her get a friend. She gon' make me slide with my dog like I'm Mega Man.
That boy from yes, that boy. Now you really must like him alive. Don't try lying to me,
Plus, every song on here basically has its own corresponding character to draw as a result of being from video games. The world revolving? Draw Jevil. Live and learn? Draw Sonic or Shadow. The death that I deserve Aioli? Draw Peppino. I could go on. We could get Mario, Mega Man, Hank J. Wimbledon, Hatsune Miku, Tankman, Jamiroquai? Hey, it says and some other stuff. You guys are lucky that Weezer isn't here. Anyways, here is the fun part. This is where all of you come in. If you go back to Scott Christian Safa's format, he has people vote. So, I put together a bunch of polls for you guys to vote on which songs you want me to cover in this series. And to access them all, I created a website. And to listen to the songs by letter, I made a 17-page Google Doc with every song on the playlist in alphabetical order, which took me weeks to compile. Okay, let me put all of that into perspective. In the description below, you'll find a website where you can access all of the polls necessary to elect your favorite songs into the final iteration of this project. You're gonna get to vote on your first, second, and third favorite songs by letter. If for some reason you need any sort of refresher on your favorite video game music, or if you would like to know more of the songs on the ballot, you can find every single one of them organized in alphabetical order on a document, which will also be linked in the description for this video, and on all 26 ballots. Also, so this doesn't end up like the last time I put out a poll, I want to warn you that I will be casting my own vote as well. You all know how detrimentally impaired that my judgment is, so I would recommend engaging in order to outpoll me. Don't sweat getting them all done fast, because after one poll closes, every one after it will remain open. Organizing this took a lot of time, so that every little detail doesn't go to waste, I added one special little extra thing. To access the polls via the website, I made 26 special letters for you to click on and then travel to the corresponding poll. The first person to correctly guess all 26 characters represented by these hot-linked images can choose any one song to automatically end up in this series. Just make sure all 26 guesses and your song of choice are posted in a single comment below. And that's our PITTOO Day celebration. Vote for your favorite songs and I'll make more art to celebrate them all. Each letter will get its own short on this channel in the coming months, and at the end, I'll compile them all into one big poster, just like Scott Christian Safa. If you thought this was cool, go watch his series linked in the description, and vote, vote, vote! I'll see you next time, and always remember, in 1989, the Soviet Union gave 17 submarines to the Pepsi-Cola company, making them the 6th largest navy in the world. Also, Jesus loves you, and have a great day, and goodbye! I want to give a shout out to the YouTuber Kennedy640 with his video having ranked every single song in Super Smash Bros. History. It was a big help in adding some absolute bangers to the playlist. And if you want to check it out, which I think you should, go check out his channel, which is also linked below. See you next time.